Tommy V in Michigan. He was on fire this morning.
Okay, thank you, Tommy V in Michigan. Yes, sir. If you share my prayers.
Tommy V's on. Yeah, we'll jump over there.
Tommy V doing great stuff over there.
We on record, looks like. All right, we're on record and live streaming at Thurston County District Court. The afternoon calendar. This might have been left from this morning. Okay. Hey, Mr. Thompson, you're here on behalf of the state.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, and Lacey, or no, I see Mr. McClellan there.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm here.
Right. Hi, I see Mr. Swenson as well. So why don't we start in Nisqually, your name, sir? In Nisqually with a very long beard.
Lonnie, Mr. Lonnie Tharp, hello.
Mr. Tharp, all right.
Your
Mr.
Honor,
Swenson, is this your client?
No. Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Tharp.
Okay, thanks. All right. So, Pazdurka, Mr. Tharp.
Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt. If I could get a breakout room with Thurston County Correctional while that's going on. I think Mr. Fernandez.
Okay. Fernandez, okay, we can do that. All right, so Mr. Tharp, you're Lonnie Ray Tharp, Ray H. Tharp?
Yes, ma'am.
And what's your date of birth? Okay, let me turn to Mr. Pazdurka here.
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Tharp. At this time, we would now be objecting to probable cause, and we would ask that our office be appointed to represent him in any further proceedings. He indicated to me that he's currently receiving food stamps.
Okay. Going. All right, so Mr. Tharp, we're going to talk about release conditions or possible restrictions on your behavior. I'm going to set another court date and order you back to court. And I will appoint Thurston County Public Defense. That's Mr. Pazdurka's office. One of the attorneys there will represent you after today. And first, I'm going to hear from the prosecuting attorney, then I'm going to hear from Mr. Pazdurka on your behalf. So, Mr. Thompson.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state's requesting $10,000 bond. The defendant, while having limited criminal history in Washington state, currently has an active warrant out of another state. The state has significant flight concerns. This is also a crime of violence, and it's domestic violence related. The state has significant public safety concerns that he'll either interfere with the administration of justice or commit a violent crime. So both the concerns of flight risk and violent crime, we are asking for $10,000 bond. Additionally, we are also asking no contact order be put in place.
And I see Ms. Gates is the subject of the no contact order you're requesting. Was she also the protected party in that diversion?
I will verify that, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor, she was involved in that 2018 case as the protected party.
Okay, and that diversion was successfully completed. I see it was ultimately dismissed, the two charges.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. And then what I read in the probable cause declaration was a Mississippi warrant for aggravated assault. Do you know how old that was, or any other information other than what I read in the probable cause declaration?
Not yet, Your Honor. I don't believe we received the NCIC prior to the hearing today, just that did have the active warrant out of Mississippi.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Pazdurka?
Your Honor, we would
be asking that Mr. Tharp be released on his personal recognizance. He has no other criminal history. My understanding from Mr. Tharp is that the warrant out of Mississippi is not him. It's a different Lonnie Tharp. He says he's had to deal with this prior and without confirmation about how old or, I mean, if the state can't confirm that it is him, that's the representations that he made to me, that it is not actually him. That is a different person. We would also be objecting to the no contact order. Mr. Tharp indicates that this was a family dispute that has been blown out of proportion. I would also note that Ms. Gates is also in custody and is going to be appearing, and she also maintains the same, that it was a dispute that got blown out of proportion by her son. Neither are asking for the no contact order to be entered, as they live together at that residence. However, if a no contact order is issued, Mr. Tharp did indicate that he has somewhere else he can stay. In the meantime, it sounds like the property belongs to Ms. Gates' mother. With that, I would also just reiterate that Mr. Tharp does not have the financial means to post any amount of bail. And given his, what I would argue, lack of history, confirmed history, we do believe that releasing him on his personal recognizance is appropriate.
All right, Mr. Tharp, I'm going to have you post some bond, and the reason being is that you've been through this court before for a 2-year diversion with the same woman who was put at peril. The allegation there was assault in the 4th-degree domestic violence, malicious mischief in the 3rd-degree domestic violence. Now, you got through that diversion, and it was those 2 charges were dismissed. But here we are again, the hope that that diversion would not have this happen or be alleged again. And from the probable cause statement that I've been provided, granted, that was all, that was the police report essentially. But I'm going to have you post a $2,500 bondable bail, reducing that amount. I don't have more information about the Mississippi information, just that there was a warrant and without more confirmation, and having it confirmed by law enforcement, that just exactly what that is. And it's for you. I'd want more information before I could make decisions based on that. But so $22,500 needs to be posted to ensure that you come back, to ensure that you don't commit crimes of violence, and certainly find your certainly against the same woman, Ms. Gates. Now, I am going to issue an order for now concerning Ms. Gates, protecting her from you. We've done this before. And for now, you're going to stay 1,000 feet away from wherever she is, where she goes to school, works, lives. At this stage, I will give you a what we call civil standby at that to get some personal belongings. And how that works is you would contact Tumwater Police Department. You would ask them to meet you there and supervise and keep the peace. And a little noise in the background, but they'd keep the peace. You'd get your personal belongings. They'd escort you away, and you wouldn't go back without them. And then, of course, I'm also ordering that you not possess firearms and that you surrender any that you may have, and don't possess any going forward. I'm going to set a court date for you, and you'll have that in hand. Let's see, that will be looks like June 5th. We've got a DV calendar, don't we? Yeah. Okay. June 5th at I don't know what time. 9 o'clock. 10:30. Okay. 10:30 on June 5th. You're back in court. Thurston County Public Defense Attorney will be there as well. Follow these conditions. Don't violate the law. Don't possess a firearm. And don't violate this no contact order. And you'll need to post 200 or 2,500 cash or bond to be released. And that's all for today. You'll have this all in hand.
Hello?
Yep, you can be on your way. We
I'm sorry.
finished.
What happens if I can't post $2,500 bail? I have no money. I just got brain cancer last year and I've only got a few months
We're
left.
going to
anyway.
have a hearing on June 5th, but in the meantime, you'll be talking to your attorney, and if we need to have a hearing sooner, then we will.
Right. How do I get hold of my attorney?
Thurston County Public Defense, Ms. Qualley can give you that information.
Thank you.
Sure. And is that Thurston County Corrections Facility with the green chair in there? Your name and Thurston County Corrections Facility?
Jaquan Fernandez.
Sorry, last name again?
Fernandez.
Ah, Mr. Fernandez. All right. All right. So Mr. Swenson, Mr. McClellan.
Thank you, Your Honor. Defense is going to be requesting a continuance today. I believe we have trial set for next week. He was added to today's calendar from the out of custody calendar on Tuesday. I'm preparing a speedy trial waiver. He is not held, it looks like, on these matters. So I did misspeak, Mr. Fernandez. It's going to be 90 days from today. Will be your new speedy trial expiration, not 60 days.
Right, on this matter, though I believe there is, let me re-review this. I don't know if I agree with you at this stage. On the driving while suspended third, I don't believe he's held. On the simple assault, let's see, here from the docket. Because I see way back in December, bail was reinstated. And there was an appearance bond. Can you help me out here? It looks like it was bonded.
Yeah, the city's notes reflect that I don't think there's a hold on this case. The Thurston County jail roster also only has the holds on his felony case.
Okay, so I
He had a
see the
warrant
bail
and he posted
reinstated
and
back to, all right. So the bail going back to Mr. Fernandez, not, I see, that's how that, but I was misinterpreting that. Okay, so released on these. So meaning, Mr. Swenson, you have more time, or do we have a speedy trial waiver, or?
Yeah, I'm preparing that waiver and I'll get that filed right now, Your Honor. I think we would just ask for new trial dates with the trial confirmation just in regular course.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Fernandez, you've got some things to work on in Superior Court, obviously. We've got trial dates scheduled. We're going to reset those trial dates, just not next week. We're going to have them at a later time. And we'll be giving you notice in custody. Seems we still have a mailing address, though, if you're out of custody.
Yes.
That'd get to you. All right.
Yes.
And then if you're out of custody, we have a text message. We were sending text message reminders. Is that useful for you?
Yeah, I was getting the text messages. Yes.
Okay, and that needs to be put on the other docket head too. All right, so we'll simply reset for trial. Why don't we try and keep these together, at least tracking? So keep the dates on the keep things set on the driving while suspended in the third degree, the case, the 4A case. Reset for confirmation and jury dates. Mr. Swenson, you're working on that speedy trial waiver, or you're sending it in?
Yeah, I'm emailing it over right now. Who's the clerk this afternoon?
It's Amy.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Amy.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll get that going. All right, so then, in the meantime, then you'll work with all your attorneys, Mr. Fernandez, and we'll see if the next court dates or probably before.
Okay, Your Honor, thank you.
Thanks. That's it.
Have a good day.
You too. All right, so that trial for next week. And in Ms. Squally, your name?
Geraldine Gates.
Ms. Gates, is it? I think we just lost your audio.
Hello?
There you are. So it's Geraldine Gates?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. And what's your date of birth?
4481.
Okay. And Mr. Pazderka?
Your Honor, I spoke with Ms. Gates. We would be making no objection to any probable cause determination, and ask that a counsel be appointed. She also indicated that she's on Medicaid, receives state assistance. This will likely be a panel attorney.
One or the other. Okay. All right, Ms. Gates, I am going to appoint Thurston County Public Defense to represent you going forward. Qualify for me to do that. And that's an attorney either, appointed by Thurston County Public Defense. And they're going to be careful about appointment should both yours and Mr. Tharp's case go forward in prosecution. They're going to make sure that they're attorneys that are separate from the office if they need to do that to help protect information and your rights.
There's no
So-
issue between me and Lonnie. That was
Just slow
an
down.
issue
I'm
with
saying
my
those
son.
are ethical considerations that the defense bar has to follow. If you're both charged with a crime, the same office cannot represent both of you, and they will see to it that that doesn't happen. That's up to them. So, so I'm appointing counsel. I'm going to hear from the lawyers. I'm going to hear from the prosecutor about release conditions or possible restrictions on your behavior. I'm going to hear from Mr. Pazderka on your behalf today about that as well. So, Mr. Thompson.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state's asking for no contact order in this matter.
No.
We are not asking for any bail at this time. Ms. Gates has limited criminal interactions with as a defendant. We do believe that a no contact order is sufficient to ensure community safety and safety of the victim in this
There's no issue between us.
Ms. Gates, we're really going to need to hear from one person at a time. We're recording these, and when you talk over someone, it makes it very difficult to get through the hearing. So please kind of hold your peace, listen to what's going on, and I'm going to have Mr. Pazderka respond. But if you want more time privately with him, that's fine. Just let us know. But right now, I need to hear from Mr. Thompson and only from Mr. Thompson. So please hold your peace there. So, Mr. Thompson.
Yes, Your Honor. She has limited contact with the criminal justice system as a defendant. But we do believe that no contact order at this time is sufficient to ensure community safety and safety of the victim.
All right. So, Mr. Pazderka, would you like to take more time with Ms. Gates, or Ms. Gates, would you like more time with Mr. Pazderka before I hear a response?
I'd like
Would
to
you like
say,
more
I
time
know
with
with
your attorney? Is what I'm asking you. Is that a yes or a no? More time with your attorney before we go forward? Can't hurt.
because I don't want the no contact order.
Ms. Gates, yeah,
Why
so
don't-
I spoke
Yeah,
with,
why don't we?
I don't know that we
What do you-
need to speak further, Ms. Gates. I would just advise you to stay quiet at this time and then speak with your assigned attorney going forward. We've spoken about your concerns, but not necessarily the time to talk right now. So, Your Honor, with regard to the request, we are objecting to a no contact order being put in place. As was previously stated, Ms. Gates indicates that this was a family dispute is blown out of proportion, that the argument was more involved with her and her son, not Mr. Tharp. She does not believe it's necessary for a no contact order in either regard to protect her or against Mr. Tharp. Given that the court already imposed the no contact order for Mr. Tharp, I don't believe another is necessary to protect Miss Gates. But for those reasons, we would object, but no objection to her being released on her own recognizance.
Your Honor,
To keep things calmer at home, that's all.
Well, slow down, everybody. I just hear from one person at a time, and I'll ask before I want to hear from you. All right. So, we're going to set another court date, Ms. Gates, and let's see, Mr. Pazderka, would it be problematic? I think it might be on the 5th. Is there any objection to setting this to the 12th? Should there need to be an arraignment rather than the 5th? I'm going to be releasing your client.
Then no objection, Your Honor.
I'm doing that because I think it might be problematic having Mr. Tharp and Ms. Gates heard on the same time in the same courtroom.
Your Honor, if I may interject just one thing.
Mr. Thompson.
I think there's a misunderstanding. The state's not asking for no contact order in her case protecting Mr. Tharp. It's protecting Mr. Jonathan Gates. And I think that was a misunderstanding in some of the parties here.
Is that
My son was the aggressor. My son was the one who came out and attacked me.
States, I would just ask that you stay quiet at this time. And I apologize if I misspoke earlier. With regard to the position, we were objecting to any no contact order regarding any of the parties. But I'll leave it there.
right? So, Ms. Gates, you will be released on your promise to return to court. Give me a court date of June 12th, and you'll be back at what time? 9:30 on June 12th. You'll have an attorney from Thurston County Public Defense in the meantime, and at that hearing. For now, given the information that I received under the probable cause declaration, I'm going to issue an order concerning Jonathan Gates and you, protecting him for now from you. For now, you stay 1,000 feet away from wherever he calls home, wherever he works, wherever you know where he is. You don't contact him through family, through friends, through social media. Turning to Mr. Thompson, there's not a civil standby in this order. Is that something that we need to talk about or something else to know from the parties?
We have no objection
My
to the
son
civil.
attacked me though.
Mr. Thompson?
We'd have no objection to the civil standby, Your Honor. That's just a simple oversight. It would be the same address.
Can you give me that address again?
Yes, Your Honor. It is and I think the other property is I think it might the same street or I think they properties abut each other is my understanding.
And Your Honor, I apologize.
No.
But I would like to clarify the where the property is at issue because it's, yes,
Thank you.
it's my understanding is that it's a different, Mr. Gates lives in on a different property, but if it's next to the residence that Ms. Gates is residing, I guess I would ask for an amendment to allow for her to still reside at her address if she can remain off of the property at which Mr. Gates resides.
Oh, all right. So the understanding is that Jonathan Gates does not reside at. However, he was living in a trailer on that property, is what I understood from the probable cause declaration. So within 1,000 feet, and Mr. Pazderka, you're asking.
And I guess I would like maybe a clarification on the state as well, if they have a separate, if it is a separate address or not.
Yeah.
We had a separate address listed and I unfortunately, we were not able to get in contact with Mr. Jonathan Gates prior to the hearing. And I was aware that the properties, or at least the property the trailer was on, was at least connected or part of the property Miss Gates resides at. And then when I looked at the address, I was under the impression that they were two separate properties that abutted each other. But Mr. Pazderka's explanation is probably more succinct and clearer. I would have no objection to a 100-foot limit, Your Honor, while on the property.
And, all right. So what I'm going to say here is don't have contact with Jonathan Gates, but I am going to reduce that geographical distance to 100 feet. And then I'm also going to say that this order is not intended to prevent Ms. Gates from accessing her home. Is that going to work?
It should be fine, Ryan.
Okay. Now but still, for now, don't contact Jonathan Gates in any way, shape, or form. But, so there wouldn't need to be a civil standby then?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So, Ms. Gates, you're going to be released. You're back June 12th at 9:30. You don't violate the law. You don't violate this no contact order. You're going to have it in hand before you leave. And you don't possess a firearm and surrender any that you have, and don't possess any going forward. And we'll be back, as I said, June 12th at 9:30. And I would suggest contact Thurston County Public Defense on your release, certainly by next week, to make an appointment and to talk to them if you can before that hearing. And that's the person you should talk to all about the issues I think that you've been trying to say here today, is your attorney, not on a recorded line with prosecutor listening, and that can be used against you. So that's it for today. You'll have this all in hand. If you have questions, talk to your lawyer about it all.